On October 11th, 2025, the world lost one of its brightest stars, Diane Keaton, the Oscar-winning actress who captivated audiences with her charm, humor, and grace. At the age of 79, Diane passed away peacefully at her home in Brentwood, California. The news came quietly, without fanfare, a reflection of her unassuming nature. Her family issued a brief statement, asking for privacy during their time of grief. This gentle departure from life mirrored the way she had lived, with sincerity, humor, and an innate understanding of what truly mattered. Diane Keaton's legacy goes far beyond her acting career. It lies in her resilience, her courage, and the quiet strength that sustained her through a lifetime of both joy and struggle. The quiet strength behind her smile. Diane Keaton's early years were marked by a sense of quiet restraint. Born Diane Hall on January 5, 1946 in Los Angeles, California, she grew up in a household where emotional expression was often muted. Her father, Jack Hall, a civil engineer, valued order and discipline, while her mother, Dorothy Diane Keaton Hall, once a beauty queen, had her dreams of a stage career curtailed by motherhood. In the Hall household, feelings were rarely expressed, and silence often reigned. Diane reflected on this in her memoirs, acknowledging the impact this silence had on her. She grew up with a quiet resolve to not follow in her mother's footsteps, silently promising herself she would pursue her dreams, no matter what it took. That promise would propel her into the world of acting, where she would one day become a symbol of both vulnerability and strength. A silent battle and the road to healing. As a teenager, Diane Keaton struggled with bulimia, an eating disorder that she later described as both sick and creepy. This battle with body image and self-worth was a response to the pressures of Hollywood's obsession with appearance, but it was also an expression of her inner turmoil. At home, where emotional conversations were rare, Diane had to find her own way to cope with the expectations placed upon her. Acting provided an outlet, a way for her to express what she couldn't voice. Her natural intensity on stage caught the attention of her teachers, and she quickly became known for her raw, unfiltered performances. It was during this time that Diane made the decision to leave California and pursue her dreams in New York, where she would go on to find her true voice, leaving home for the bright lights of New York. In 1966, Diane Keaton left behind her family and the safety of California for the cold streets of New York City, armed with little more than a suitcase and a burning desire to succeed. Life in New York was harsh. She found herself in a small, rundown apartment on the Upper West Side, where the nights were cold and the competition fierce. Diane stood in endless audition lines, her nerves hidden beneath her quiet determination. Rejections were frequent, with casting directors often saying she was too tall or too unusual for the roles she sought. Despite the challenges, Diane held on to her dream. She worked odd jobs, including waitressing and singing in basement clubs, to make ends meet. For Diane, each rejection only fueled her desire to succeed, and with every setback, she grew more determined to carve out her place in the world. The breakthrough, Hair and the Godfather. Diane's persistence paid off in 1968 when she landed a role in the original Broadway production of Hair. It was here that her talent began to shine. Her vulnerability on stage became her strength, and she quickly gained recognition for her raw, authentic performances. In 1972, Diane was cast as Kay Adams in The Godfather, a role that would catapult her to stardom. Her portrayal of Michael Corleone's wife showcased her ability to balance emotional depth with strength, a trait that would define much of her career. The role opened doors for Diane in Hollywood, and she soon became a sought-after actress. But despite the fame and recognition, Diane's inner struggle with the pressures of success and public life began to take its toll, revealing the complexity of her emotional world. Woody Allen and the rise to stardom. Diane's partnership with Woody Allen marked a defining chapter in her career. The two collaborated on several films, starting with Play It Again, Sam in 1972, followed by Sleeper in 1973 and Love and Death in 1975. Diane's ability to bring humor and emotional depth to her roles made her a perfect match for Allen's quirky, cerebral films. Her performances were often marked by a sense of awkwardness and vulnerability, making her relatable to audiences who were drawn to her authenticity. But it was in 1977, with the release of Annie Hall, that Diane truly became a symbol of charm, intelligence, and vulnerability. Her portrayal of the quirky, independent Alvy Singer captured the hearts of millions and earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress. The struggles behind the success. Despite her immense success, Diane Keaton faced a growing sense of dissatisfaction. As the applause for Annie Hall echoed in her ears, she realized that fame and success had not filled the emptiness inside her. In her later interviews, she confessed that success had given her permission to be broken in public, acknowledging the internal conflict that persisted even as she achieved everything she had once dreamed of. She had found the recognition she sought, but realized that it did not provide the happiness or fulfillment she had imagined. Behind the smiles and the awards, Diane struggled with the same doubts and fears she had always carried with her. Fame, she realized, could be a double-edged sword, offering validation on the outside but leaving her feeling more alone than ever. Love lost, a heartbreaking journey. Diane's love life, especially her relationship with Al Pacino, mirrored the complexities of her emotional world. The two first met while filming The Godfather, and their on-screen chemistry soon turned into a real-life romance. Their connection was deep, but their relationship was also marked by moments of distance and longing. Diane was open, expressive, and hungry for lasting love, while Al was private and fearful of commitment. Their love was real, but it was often tugged in different directions by their careers and personal insecurities. After years of love, heartbreak, and reconciliation, Diane gave Al an ultimatum in 1990, asking him to marry her or let her go. His silence was the answer, and Diane walked away, leaving behind a love that would stay with both of them for the rest of their lives. A new chapter. Motherhood and healing. In the years following her emotional heartbreak, Diane Keaton began to retreat from the spotlight. The death of her father left her with an overwhelming sense of loss, and she turned inward to process her grief. During this time, Diane rediscovered herself. She filled her days with reading, journaling, and quiet reflection, learning that healing took time. She also embraced motherhood later in life, adopting her daughter Dexter in 1996 and her son Duke in 2001. Motherhood brought Diane a sense of peace she had never known, filling the empty spaces in her heart with love and purpose. As she devoted herself to her children, Diane found the simple joys of life, trading the pressures of fame for the warmth of family. Declining health and final years. By the mid-2000s, Diane Keaton's health began to decline. She had always been known for her energy and creativity, but by early 2024, her frailty became evident. She withdrew from public life, spending more time in her garden and with her family. Despite her declining health, Diane continued to create, releasing a soft holiday song titled First Christmas in late 2024. Her spirit remained strong, even as her body weakened. By the fall of 2025, Diane's health had deteriorated significantly. She spent her final days in her favorite chair, surrounded by the love of her family. On October 11, 2025, she passed away peacefully, marking the end of an era. Diane Keaton faced death with the same grace and humor that defined her life, leaving behind a legacy that will live on forever in the hearts of those who admired her.